it's episode 34 of the postcard of Double Cross Anime. This week though, I'm Mario by the way, and with me, as always, is Whooper. So this week though, after watching the two shows of Zombieland Saga and Karakuri Circus, we decided that they are just too dumb.
Pretty much.
so that we just gonna drop them. So instead of covering the two shows, we come up with another show from this season, which is Gridman. And since the last volume of High Score Girl is out now, so we also will take a look at the volume 8 of High Score Girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So basically for today we have Irozuku and Run with the Wind episode 7, Gridman from 1 to 7, volume 8 of High Score Girl, and finally the second episode of Chan Robo.
Right.
Alright. So which one do you like to start first, Whooper?
Let's just get Irozuku out of the way right now.
Alright, Irozuku tonight.
Get it out of the way.
Alright.
I wish I could get this show out of my way.
Judging of your voice, your sleepy voice.
Uh-huh.
It's just mean that you don't really enjoy that show.
Yeah.
The episode, I mean.
Yeah, what was the deal with her being able to see color at the end of the previous episode? And you know, she comes home and she's like, I can see color. And then the start of this one, it's already disappeared. What a cop-out.
And then it just reversed back to status work again. So I just don't get it. So everything happened in this show so far. It's just like a bunch of club members having a day out all together, figure something out for themselves, which is they not progressing much.
That describes a lot of anime. But this one I actually had some hope for.
Yep.
Hence my disappointment.
All right. So tell me more about your feeling of the episodes.
Man, I don't know. I have hardly anything to say about it. It was lame that her sense of color disappeared so quickly. Not necessarily in terms of time in the universe of the show, but just the time between the end of episode 6, the beginning of episode 7, we don't get to see how she, how her life changes as a result of being able to see color. We don't know for sure how long she had that ability. We don't know really what caused it to go away. I don't think.
Yep.
Did we get any clue about that? In addition, a lot of the focus of this episode was put on side characters like Kurumi, the glasses girl, and she's so irrelevant. The attempt to sell her character via her her feelings of inferiority compared to her sister, who we only know anything about because she basically exposits her sister's entire life story in a car ride.
Yep.
It's just it's really pitifully written, honestly.
Alright. Yep. Alright. The first thing is I still don't even get why the show want to have Hitomi having her color back in order to put him back to normal. I don't see the reason why. Like in the grand scheme of in the big pictures. And secondly, I can see some of the Kurumi issues that is relevant to the show. This is the show about growing up. So having one who don't know what they really like is they speak up the theme of Irozuku. But I do agree with you that by comparing her with the sister who we hardly know about, who basically just appear for a minute or two, we don't have a sense of we can't relate very well to Kurumi's.
Yeah, I mean, we never have been able to, I don't think, because her whole purpose is to be like a Genki girl and to have glasses and to flirt with what's his face, the other guy,
The
the
younger
guy the
guy,
guy with the voice like this.
Chigusha. That's his name.
Okay, Chigusa, sure. Yeah, I've the like her sister having gone to culinary school. You know, they
Yep.
work that in pretty nicely, and of course that's something impressive that that a younger sister might see and think to themselves, well, there's no way I'll ever be able to manage something like that.
Right.
But then, like Kurumi explains pretty much the entire like her whole life, the path that she took to get to culinary school, all the stuff that she did, and how how her family paid for it, and how awesome she is, etc., etc. And I mean, I would much rather see, like you said, there's, we kind of have a big question mark over our heads in regards to why she was able to see color again. I mean, you can infer that it has something to do with Aoi.
Yep.
Um, like it has to do with the fact that she loves him or something, and so love is the key to
Con- love.
color and
Well, love conquer all.
right,
That's
right.
the
Love
term.
love wins.
Yep.
But I would just rather get a little more information on her or him, because we had all the like the big dream sequence in his drawing that Hitomi went through last week. So could have
Yeah.
used a little more about that, or I don't know. Like I would even take more of the love triangle between Hitomi, Usagi, and orange-haired class president guy. I would even prefer that to what we got this week.
I don't like that at all.
Well, too bad because you're gonna get more of it.
Yeah. Well.
How many more episodes are there? 5 or 6?
So that's gonna. I think that's gonna be 5. That's gonna be like 12 in total.
Okay. Okay. Only 5 more to go, dude.
Only 5 more to go. Let's just say just like half of it, just more than half of it was gone.
That's right. We're gonna make it.
Yeah. Well, and in that note, Aoi actually so he told me his pictures, which is very colorful. But
Yes.
I think again that he told me can be able to see it in color, but that's provide like no climax whatsoever.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
so
I wouldn't expect it to necessarily like blow everybody away again after what happened last week.
yeah, yeah.
But
Well,
but you're right. It is. She does look at it and say, "Wow, there's so many colors. Thanks for showing me that." And that's the end of the
Yeah.
scene. You're.
That-
I was kind of left
that-
scratching my head.
because they want to save the big climax for the for later on when Chigusa the young guy want to take a pictures on the bridge. And did you get the information about that boat before? Because
The information about that boat. No, what are you talking about?
you remember like they miss a boat with like a very colorful image.
Yeah, they're not able to get the picture because it crosses under the bridge or something. I don't get why they couldn't just cross to the other side of the bridge and take a picture.
Well, I think that what the other side of the bridge.
Well,
have no
then
idea.
why wouldn't they just go to the other one? Like it's a river, so it stretches underneath the bridge for a long distance. Why wouldn't whichever side it went on? Because didn't it go under the bridge?
Yeah.
So why
Yep,
wouldn't
yep.
they just whatever side they were on, just go to the other one and take a
Maybe-
picture?
Maybe it's a tunnel, a tunnel or something.
Like
I
the
have
bridge
a-
goes under the boat goes underwater.
Yep.
It's a submarine.
All right. I don't know. Maybe it's just the bridge go under the tunnel. It's not like the bridge, but it was a bridge.
Yeah,
had
it
no
was a
idea.
bridge. I didn't understand that scene at all because of that. Like I don't know. Why
Yeah.
wouldn't they just go to the other side? I don't know.
And second thing was I don't know that they have mentioned the ship before. Like I remember they talking about he want to take a picture of a girl in the like when she stands in the bridge on the bridge.
Yeah, she's looking at the ship which is carrying her lover away or something.
Oh, is it all right?
Yeah, that was
Because
his idea for the photo.
all right, because I didn't get the ship at all. Like when they said they're gonna miss that ship, I was like, what was that?
Oh,
Like,
okay. No,
yeah.
that was right in the that was right in my. I just use like crunchy subs.
Mm,
He wanted to have a picture where it's like over the shoulder of a girl who's looking wistfully down at the boat,
all right.
because her her boyfriend or her lover whatever is on the boat and he's leaving,
Yep.
and then that can't happen because apparently the boat, it's like an
Arrive
invisibility
early.
bridge. So when the boat goes underneath, it becomes invisible, and
Yeah,
then his chance at the photo is ruined.
yeah. All right, but
Someone's whistling.
oh, that's my the other four.
Okay.
Um, but don't you agree that like the chemistry between Kurumi, the class girl, and Chigusa was pretty good?
I don't care about them.
No, I'm not either.
Okay. I don't know. I think her design is very cute.
All right,
But I don't care much for her character
all
or
right.
his.
She looked like another class girl in Cell U4. Actually, she looked like what her name Asuka. The other
What?
class the other
Yeah,
class girl
Asuka.
is yeah Asuka. I
No,
think
she doesn't look like that at all. She's got red hair, and I
they
don't think these character designs look very much like KyoAni designs.
all right. So they are all like Asian high school girls, and Asian high school girl with class look exactly the same.
Well, you're
Um,
lucky you're an Asian person, so you can say that.
I'm not racist, so when I say
Yeah,
that,
I don't see a lot of similarities between them.
all right.
Uh,
Well,
but
their personality are a bit the same though, right?
kind of, yeah. Although I think Asuka is characterized a lot better in Hibiki,
Mm.
so you get the sense after watching for enough time that Asuka's cheerfulness is like kind of a mask.
Yep. Well, this is not a must though, but it's still like it just isn't a front of her. Like she tried to be active, she tried to be like like laughing all the time, but she does have her issues.
Yeah, her
So
sister is just like so cool.
yeah, right.
How can she compete?
Yeah, right. Well, that is a question that she gonna she gonna have for like the rest of her life.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, I don't have an older sibling. I have only one sibling, and he's younger.
All
So
right.
maybe I just don't understand what it's like to
Well, I
have an
have
older
two.
sibling who's like an overachiever.
All right, I have two on the Sixers, and I can see some of I can share some of Kurumi issues regarding like like looking up to the Sixers.
Huh.
But then again, like because we don't know much about that these Sixers, we just know that she a chef. She just have some time to like to pick her up.
Right.
Basically, so that basically that what we see about these characters. Everything that we know about her is from Kurumi's.
Oh my God! I just realized there's an older sister in UFO,
Yeah, but
Hibike
but
Euphonium.
yeah, but
Parallels
it's
everywhere.
no. But Asuka doesn't have an older sisters.
No, yeah, it's Kumiko's sister,
It's
who you also
Kumiko's.
know very little about.
Right. Yep.
So at the end of this episode, there's another kind of sort of cliffhanger thingamajig, where she's
Oh,
about to confess the fact that she's colorblind. As if that's really
yeah.
that big a deal.
Yeah, I think that what she should have done in like the first two episodes. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, if there were some reason of like a tangible reason, something in her past, or
Mm,
maybe something that one of her family members told her, never tell people you're colorblind, or something. If there were something that the show could point to and be like, this is the reason that she's been keeping silent, then
yeah.
it might be a big deal that she's coming out about it to her friends. But the thing is, her friends are all like super supportive and encouraging of literally everything she does.
Yeah,
So what it doesn't matter. Like we
and
already know what's going to happen in the next episode.
yeah,
They're going to be like, "Oh wow, that's great."
and and to say that again, like she only had two secrets, and she already let the very big secret out, that she from the future, and no one like batting an eye, no one
Right.
really,
That's a good point.
no one really surprised. I don't know why she keep like telling people that she colorblind until now, and that not even big of an
Yeah.
issue when you think about that.
I don't know, man. I guess the show just needs to manufacture some drama
Yeah.
or something.
So let me guess what the next episode gonna be. They gonna get together again, going to do something, like club activity again,
Yep.
and then we have like some sort of, like very mild cliffhanger again, and and like nothing really progress.
Right. Yeah, I mean probably. It
So
all like the show's game plan at this point is going to be impacted most by how many when they want the romantic confessions to be and how long
yeah.
a time there is between that and the conclusion.
So yes, for those of you who still watching this show, I'm sorry that like both me and Whooper are all but complain in the last 60 minutes.
I'm not really sorry.
But well, if you have any good point about this show, just let us know, because like it keep doing the same thing for the last 3 or 4 episodes. Like
Yeah.
since Kohaku comes to the pictures, it keep doing exactly the same thing.
Even though she is your queen.
Yeah, right. She's not even like really shy at these episodes.
Who?
We
Who
have
told me?
Kohaku.
Oh, what do you mean? She's not really shy. She doesn't really shine. What do you?
No, shy. I mean, like she doesn't have anything that stand out this week.
Ah, yes.
So yep. So I think that's it about Irozuku. You have any other things you have to
No.
say about Irozuku?
Nope.
All right. Let's get to another show. Run with the Wind.
Okie doke.
Yep. So they now having their first track meet, and it's a reality check for like all of the members of of, of the team.
Yeah, well, except
And
for Haiji because he
yeah,
doesn't exist on the same plane of reality as everyone else.
I I I take it as a compliment for him.
Not really.
No, no, it's not.
He's doing what he needs to do to realize his dream, though.
Well, you can see though that even though he doesn't try his best, he still like qualify for that track meet, and helping out with all the people and drive the people to the uh to the competition. And
Yeah, although I
like,
don't know if that last one is that much to be thankful for, given his
well,
driving skills.
given that no one else have having a license, yes.
Well, yeah, but he also almost kills them, ostensibly.
Well, and like he get very high respect from like one of the biggest runner in that track meet.
Yeah, literally the biggest runner. He's
Yep.
huge.
Right.
Which doesn't make a
right.
lot of sense to me. Like, are runners supposed to be that big? Are you going to have a natural advantage? Like, your muscles are going to be stronger, but there's more weight that you have to lug around.
That's right. And people, all right, off track a bit, but like the body build in like marathon and in running, like short running, they have
Super
like,
thin guys.
yeah, they have like different like body build as well. So like the marathon guy, the one that we seeing now, like at 5 kilometers run, that they need to be thin. Like all of their muscle need to be very, very thin in order for them to like keep like keep working without like stop.
Right.
Yeah. So well, he not that big. He just tall. he kind of skinny, does he?
I don't know. I just noticed
Uh,
that he was bigger than everyone else. But
yeah, he
that could
does.
also
He
be
does.
an artistic choice. Because his presence is supposed to be more dominating, as
Right,
he
right,
is the dominant runner. He's the big
right.
obstacle for Kakadu.
Yep. So what I respect this episode the most is that it's Kakuru who's the one who like have a reality check. Who- So it's not like the other members of the team who like who realize that they basically out there. But it's Kakuru who like have to learn that he's not like the best one out there, and
Right.
there's still someone like better than him.
Yeah.
First
Two
and
people.
two people, yep, and also he also has some kind of responsibility to like raise support other members of his team.
Yeah. That's what the winner, whose name I don't
Uh,
remember.
no,
Uh,
it's alright.
he kind of approaches him after the race is over and says, lead them well,
Hmm, hmm.
because he's the best runner, so he ought to be helping to push everybody else forward. But of course, Kakeru, he bristles at that because he doesn't. He's well, mostly because he's pissed that he
Yep,
lost, that
yep,
he wasn't the best, uh, which is so now like it's another one of his character flaws added to the pile, because we already knew
right,
he was um, he was like anxious and kind of isolated himself from everyone else. Now we know he's really prideful.
yep, right.
So he's quick to anger as well. He's just like a whole ball of like stress
Dynamite.
and bad feelings.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, which is good. Which is I don't mind if the show like showing more of that side of him.
Yeah, me neither. I enjoy it. The
Yep,
really fascinating thing about him is that running is both like a curse, or
yep,
not a curse, but uh run, running previously caused him a little bit of like psychological damage. He was shunned by his peers
yep.
for his excellence.
Hmm, hmm.
But now, when he's trying to use that excellence, use that skill that he has, even that is not enough.
Yeah, I
So,
think
yeah,
it's more like self worth. So he think that he's like a worthy person when he like doing good on track, or maybe that's what he used to think, because like people treat him differently when because of he running better than everyone else. So now that he not on the top, like he not like the first one who win, he like like just step down from that crowd.
yeah, it's
Maybe,
yeah,
yep,
yeah. It's hard. It must be hard to be him,
yep, right.
because he wants so badly to succeed at running, but that means that the goal that he's chasing is the very thing that was so painful in his
Yep,
past. The only way that he can see that he'll be accepted by all the other guys living at Chikusei-so is to strive for the same thing that caused him to be like a loner.
yep,
It's very like messy and kind of up all in knots, his predicament.
yep.
So
Well,
I'm glad the show's two core, because it's not going to be easy to resolve that sort of thing.
right, and like as we all predicted, like all other members except from Kakeru and Haji didn't make it this time.
Right. You need to get under 16 minutes, I think
Yeah, under
they said.
16, and like two of them, I think it's King and someone else who do like 17, and two and the twin is like 18.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yep, something like that.
I actually kind of remember King being one of the worst, along with Nico-chan,
Oh,
and
along with Nico-chan.
obviously Prince is terrible.
So that leaves just Shindo and Yuki left.
Well, the twins too. Did you get them?
The twin is like 18.
Yeah,
Uh,
they're two of the
they,
ones who are close.
yep, yep, yep. So maybe so that leaves just Musha, the African guy,
Yeah,
Yuki and Shindo. Maybe the two out of three.
yeah.
But
What was up with Musa being compared to the other black runners in this episode?
it I think it just meant to be a comic relief.
I guess.
That
But he
that
was having like an identity crisis about it. Like, oh, I
Yep.
if I'm not as good as these other black guys who have the same skin color as me,
Yeah.
then my life is over. I thought that was
Yeah.
a little weird. They laid it
No.
on a little thick there.
No. It's not that way. It's not. Like I used to be in Spain, so at that time when I was in Spain, there wasn't a lot of Asian people there, so I do look for like an Asian player whenever a player comes up. So
Mhm.
like I kind of see why like he keep comparing him with another people of his race.
Right.
For him having like identity crisis like that, it's just I think it's just more for comic relief. Like
Okay.
he just freak out
Yeah,
because
he definitely freaked out.
well actually in the credits though, like everyone took it pretty well.
What do you mean?
Like I mean like other team member except for Kakeru and Hachi are the only ones who like doing all this already, but the others one they are just newcomers, and
Oh, yeah.
they had some kind of like freak out before and after the match, after the run, but like they handle it very very good. Like none of them was like overtly uh doing something stupid.
I yeah, I guess so. I mean,
Yeah.
Prince Prince did
it, it
something kind of stupid by not moving out a long time ago
yeah.
and saving
it
himself a lot of like physical exertion.
that's right. But yeah, he still do he still like finish the run.
Yeah, I think there was a line in there about him having a 30-minute time
Yep.
and no one else was that slow.
Yep.
But his little mini Velociraptor arms run where
Yep.
he's like staggering back and forth. There's no way he would finish in 30 minutes. That means that he's more than half as fast as like the twins, for example. But there's no way he's half as fast as them. They're
All right.
like they would lap him multiple times. That makes no
Uh,
sense. I
all
wonder
right.
when the show is gonna like dial back on the weird animation when he's running, because eventually he's gonna have to shape up, right?
Yeah, I know. That's gonna be like a very long term but interesting uh plot thread to see how he gonna make it, because I think like at the end of the day like everyone gonna make it to the final round.
I mean, probably they don't really have the luxury of introducing any new
Yeah,
characters. There are so many already.
yeah, that's right. So yeah,
How'd you feel
so
about the CG in this episode?
CG. Well, I don't think there is any like bad thing that like stick out like
Okay,
sometimes.
that answers my question.
All right, how about you?
Like the CG runners.
Um, it
Did you
doesn't.
notice the? Okay, yeah,
It I haven't noticed that much,
okay,
which mean that it does job.
yeah. I suppose it did. I
All
like
right.
that. That's a good answer to my question. If you like if it didn't stick out to you, you know.
Yep.
I was just curious because I noticed it at a few points, but
Right.
you know,
Is it take you out of the story?
no, not really. And I think that's in large part down to the soundtrack
Right.
because the soundtrack is pretty good.
Mm.
You know, the music in Ballroom was good too, and this is by the same guy,
Off.
same composer of for Ballroom.
Oh, for ballroom. All right.
Yeah.
Yep.
He also does the music for all the Boku no Hero TV
All
anime,
right.
and he's getting a lot of work
All right. So
Uh,
that explains why the soundtrack sound very generic. It's good, but it's generic. It's like something that you have heard before.
yeah. I
Uh,
guess it is kind of generic. In the sense that he's kind of appearing in a
Everywhere.
whole bunch of in a whole bunch of anime series. Yeah, but I do think I do think that he has like a very distinct sound.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Agree.
and I think it contributed a lot to our ability to like discern people's emotions as they were running.
Yep. Yep.
Because it is kind of limited what you can do while you're animating somebody running. Like so many of your resources are already dedicating to creating believable looking leg cycles and
Yep.
stuff, and you can't put too much in, like
The
I don't know. You can't. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I thought the soundtrack really worked for the race. Is what I'm trying to
all
say.
right. And one other thing about like animating the sports series, because like running is uh different than other sport, where like there's not much amounts of movement in terms of running compared to other sport, but there is like a huge lot of people running at the same times. So it's gonna be hard for the show to like animating like every single one for the run, especially at first when they start.
Yeah,
So to say that, I think yeah, they did a good job there in the episodes.
yeah. I thought it was pretty good. I thought the show made it look good when it counted,
Yep. Right.
and
All right.
it'll probably be easier when they do the Hakone Ekiden. I mean, I'm sure since it's like a huge deal, it's like a national
Yep.
relay race, that there will be some sequences where there's a ton of people all bunched up together, like at the start,
Yep.
But then
Yep.
there'll
Yep.
also be plenty of opportunities for there to be scenes with like, let's say Kakeru is running and there's only two other people anywhere near him for like,
Right.
a quarter mile or something like that. There'll be some stratification as
Yep.
the show goes on. So what they're animating now with the tons and tons of heads and bodies, arms and legs that they have to do.
Mhm.
Those are probably going to be like the heaviest cuts.
Right. Right. All right. Any other thing that you want to mention about the shows before we move
Um,
on to Gridman?
no, I don't think so. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good episode.
Yep. Yep. I agree. So let's get to Gridman.
Okay, let's do it.
How do you feel about the show for the last for its first 7 episodes?
I enjoy it. I'm actually gonna make a weird comparison here. I'm gonna say that I enjoy Gridman for some of the same reasons that I enjoy Lane.
All right,
It's
that
a
that
it's a bit of a puzzle that you have to solve.
all right. That's a stretch. That's a very huge stretch. So can you elaborate on that, please?
I mean, I do think that the show's presentation is a little
Yep.
off kilter, and I think that's on purpose. I think Lane did a similar thing.
Yep. Yep.
Uh,
Agree.
I they're not giving you all the information. I
Yep.
think Lane did something similar. And
Yep.
in addition, we're also dealing with virtual reality in both series
Right. Yep.
because like Akane has the world that all the characters inhabit. She controls it, and
Yep.
it seems to be digital based on the little kaiju girl's explanation in episode 6.
Yep.
Um, when she was explaining everything to Utah on the train, and there was that screen behind her.
Yep. Yep.
Uh, it seems to be digital in the same way that Lane explores the Wired, which is also a digital reality, and how it overlaps with actual reality is up for discussion.
All right.
That being said, obviously the two shows are very different, but the main reason that I think it's kind of similar to Lane is just in the way that I watch it, which is I have to the whole time I'm wondering what's really going on. How do I solve this piece of the show? How do I reconcile this bit of information with what I thought before,
Mhm.
etc.
All right. One thing though, that lane doesn't have any like kaiju monster, uh, like
I guess that's true.
Mecha or mecha any like giant robots fighting in the middle of the cities.
Also true.
All right, but I get your comparison between this one and Lens. One thing though that from your observation is that I think Gridman doesn't actively trying to to tell you to feed you information. It's more about the atmosphere. It's more about like introduce getting us to feel the off feeling more than have anything to do with like what really going on behind the scenes.
Uh, I think it's definitely trying to get you to ask those sorts of questions about what's really happening. I mean, think about the number of times that characters in this show have expressed a thought, such as, "What's really going on?" I actually took some screenshots in preparation for making the thumbnail for this
All
week's
right,
video, and it's just a bunch of characters saying, "What's going on?"
all right. So you win. I another show that I want to compare this show with is Monogatari. I know
Okay.
that is a very predictable one coming from
Uh,
me because
I wouldn't have
everything.
I wouldn't have thought to compare them.
All right, because everything I will have to compare with Monogatari, but that one have the same off feeling about like especially when you think about the public. Whenever they stay in the public, wherever they use the public transportation, like every time they're alone. They don't have any people. They're just alone on the ride.
Yeah,
They
I think
just
that's from Evangelion, is where that trope
it,
comes from.
oh, is it?
Yeah, for sure.
So all right,
I don't actually remember that about Monogatari. I've only seen Bake.
all right.
Um,
Even in Bake, you remember like there was a park in the snail in the Mayoi snail.
I
The
have
sa-
tried to put the snail arc out of my memory as much as possible.
is it? It's a good act. So
All right.
yeah, so that it's a public park, but like there are only like two people there. There are
Oh, is it
only
the one like with him sitting on top of a jungle gym or something?
no no
Like
it's
with a whole
like
bunch of bars?
no it's well it's the like the third episodes of the Bake, third and fourth.
I'm just trying to remember what the thing looked like, what the park looked like. Is it a playground?
Yeah, that's a playground.
Yeah,
Yes.
with that little like kind of spherical dome-like structure made out of a bunch of bars.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, I do
Yep.
remember that. Yeah,
Yep. So
and they're
so
by
it
themselves. Yeah.
yep. Yeah. So basically, like in Bakemono, they're supposed to be like a normal town, but you don't see any character but the mains
Right.
here as well. So here you can sometimes you can see like other people, but basically like in every the main sequences, you only see the main characters and
Yeah,
the
I don't think that's true for Gridman, right? Because they go to school, and
yeah
there are
they
a
go
whole
to
bunch
school.
of scenes with their classmates and stuff.
That's right. But whenever it come to like how to get there, like even like transportation, like, when they walk, they always walk by themselves.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So yeah, that's some other comparison I have.
Okay, Lane and Monogatari
Yeah.
and Gridman, three of a kind.
Oh well, I can say that Lens and Monogatari is like it. They have one connection that they are on my top five of all time. So yep. All right. So basically, that to say that Christmas is like the kind of show that I like, even
It's
though
yeah,
even
yeah.
though I don't have any context of only Tonkatsu and only
Tokusatsu. Yeah,
yeah, and only Kaiju's or and even Gridman's on the franchise that this one's supposed to be inspired of.
yeah. I mean, I don't think I. Not that I'm an expert, but I don't think you need to have seen those things to appreciate Gridman. You can get a lot of enjoyment out of it just based on its visual style and its like
That's right.
quirky direction and
Yep.
um,
But
the kind of weird sense of everything kind of feeling
Yep.
disconnected.
Yeah, that's right. But there are some sequence where they actually do like a homage to the show. So if you are very familiar with the old Gridman, you will get like another layers of enjoyment.
Yeah, there was actually a reference to Ultraman in this episode, or one of
Yeah.
them, either 6 or
Mm-hmm.
7, I don't know.
Yep. Right.
And I mean, I know what Ultraman is. I don't know anything about it, but good. I mean, good for the show, I guess. There's a reference. Good for Ultraman fans.
All right.
Good for you guys if you're out there.
So yes, Grid. I think one of the biggest strength of Gridman right now is that its visual presentation is pretty good for me at least.
It's pretty strange.
All right. Yep.
I think it kind of toes the line between being good and just being challenging.
Weird. All right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, but I think based on the kind of story it's trying to tell, where only now halfway through the show are we finally understanding the nature of reality, like
Yep.
whether what we're watching is real or not. We've only
Yep.
just gotten to that point. So obviously the show is trying to tease us with every episode, only let us know as much as it wants us to know, which
Yep.
means that the kind of direction that it's been getting, the kind of treatment that it's receiving from the creative team is what we ought to be seeing.
All right.
So that's fine. But at the same time, there are moments as I'm watching the show when I'm wondering, is this even like what's happening? What's going on right now? Is this real?
Yep. Yep. Well. All right. So how do you think about the emotionals? Is that this show the emotional distant? I mean, did you really feel like you related to any one of the characters?
Oh, definitely not. I mean, the one character who I kind of relate to is Rika,
Yeah, that's right.
because, dude, I don't even know if I can tell you why.
All right,
She just seems to be the most normal, maybe.
well, because that's the question that I want to lead as well because I kind of feel related to Rika for some reason, and I don't even know why because this show is certainly not a character focused show,
Yeah, I guess not. I
but
think it does pay a lot of attention to its characters.
uh,
I think,
it
like,
I think it's more about establishing the atmosphere and the weirdness more than like having anything to do with the developing the characters. I mean, like I know for sure that Utah, the main character, is pretty bad as a normal protagonist.
yeah, I guess so. Although, like, consider episode 7, for example.
Yep.
The most recent one. The entire first half of the episode was just a bunch of conversations between the characters.
Right.
You know, like between Rika and Auntie, between Yuta and Akane,
Yep.
between I I think those are the main ones.
Yep. Oh, so that my point is that even though that this show have a lot of conversations, these conversations are pretty unnatural as well. So you can see that it's not that unnatural, but it's more like like tongue in cheek. Like when they talk forth and back to each other, it's more like they just like huh, what did you say? Uh, is that what you meant?
I kind of feel like it's the show's going for naturalism in
Yeah.
its dialogue. It's not going for a polished, very
Yep.
direct and effectively communicative style. It's more
Right.
going for the way people talk to one another, which is full of ums and uhs and
Yep.
whats and stuff like that.
Yep.
And I think I mean, it's hard for me to say. I'm not on the creative staff. I'm not involved in the production of the show. I can't say for sure why it does that, but I think, I mean, in addition to the fact that the series composer writes for live action, I think this is his first time doing anime.
Yep.
In addition to that, I think that the show can't have a whole bunch of straightforward, very clear and concise dialogue, because if it did, we would have known ages ago what's going on. We would have known that Akane
Right.
is a god and all that stuff. That the curtain would have been pulled back too fast.
Right, right. But that adds up though. Because you say that it adds to the naturalism of all the characters. So I think that's one of the reasons why I I for sure can relate it to Rika because she feel natural to me. She feel like a normal characters who like want to fit in with her friends and who have like some other feelings, deeper feeling, especially to Yuta who supposedly that they have a promise before he forget everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, even though that I think that this show is not a it's not much about characters, I still feel really strongly to Rika for some reason that I can't even put my finger on.
Well, she just seems to be um, sort of I don't know, normal, I guess.
Yeah,
She's not like teleporting herself into a computer to fuse with a robot.
yep,
She's not trying to kill everybody who smushes the special dog little sandwich that she was trying to give to her boy toy.
she doesn't
She's
have
just
any.
normal.
Yeah, she doesn't have any like even like personality or any like special thing that's make her stand out.
She doesn't have
But
any personality. Uh,
well,
I
well,
mean, I guess she doesn't really have like an anime personality. Like
that's right.
a tropey personality. I don't think
Mm-hmm.
that many of the characters in this show do, except for well,
Akane,
you know what? I guess I'm wrong about that because uh, Akane kind
Yuta.
of does. No, no, I mean, Yuta is kind of like a potato-faced main character
Yep.
that we get in a lot of series, but he also, you know, his actions are subdued enough that I don't get the sense that he really behaves like an anime character.
All right.
But the four people in the black suits,
Yep.
what are they called again?
I think it had to do with the neon
That's right,
eva
the Neon Genesis
high
Gridman
school.
something squad.
Yeah, high school
Yeah,
squad. I think.
right.
So yep.
They're definitely anime characters. You get the little lolly one and the guy who
Well,
has the stutter, who's like L from Death Note and
all right.
etc.
Uh, just a note that that little lolly is actually a boy.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I actually
And,
did stop myself from saying girl because I wasn't totally sure, but I was
and the
almost certain that she was a girl. He was a girl.
Yep. So his name is Bo. I think BORR Bo, and the kaiju that Yuta met on the episode 6.
Yeah.
That we don't know. We don't even know what their like what their identity is,
Yeah.
like where they come from. She actually a girl. I just
Yeah,
learned from
I
this
thought
episode.
I thought she was a girl.
All right.
And yeah, it's true. She might be the biggest mystery in the show up to this point. Although
Yep.
Alexis Carib, the bad guy, the main
Y-
villain who's inside Akane's computer, and
Yep.
is
Yep.
now showing up in reality.
Right. Right.
He's the other big mystery. But
All right.
I'm more intrigued by the little girl, the little kaiju on the train, because
Yep.
she says something to the effect of, "Oh no, Akane didn't create me. I was already here. I've
Yeah.
been
That's
here all
right.
along." So we don't
Yep.
know exactly what that means.
Yep.
Um,
Maybe it has to do with the old series. Like maybe she was there before, and now she just
oh,
appeared. As the you know just 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 on that single episodes. So like
oh,
cameo.
that'd be interesting. That would be a really nice Easter egg for Gridman and Tokusatsu fans. That'd be cool.
Yeah, well, because I think there was some a speculation about that she was like one of the old characters from the old series. But to say that, I'm not really looking forward to that. I want her to have like her own existence, her own personality in this show.
Right. I kind of the feeling that I'm getting, this is my theory right now, is that
Yep.
I feel like the main conflict in Gridman might actually be between Auntie
Yep.
and the train girl. Like
Huh. All
those,
right.
because they're both kaiju,
Yep.
and I feel as though this might be a war that they're actually waging against each other, and all the human characters are kind of being not manipulated by them,
Yeah.
because obviously Alexis Carib is
Yep.
way more of a like a manipulator type,
Yep.
but I kind of feel like it's their fight, Auntie versus this other kaiju.
All
In
right.
some way, like I don't even really have any basis for saying that because Auntie's only motivation seems to be to kill Gridman,
Right.
but I don't know. I that's just I'm just gonna throw that out there as a prediction right now. Maybe
All
it
right.
doesn't make any sense, but I'm
That
sticking with it.
that would be cool, though. If that's gonna be a case. But before we continue, I just do the weekly summary, sum up to what happening in the last 7 episodes, especially the last two.
Okay.
So that the guy just the good guys, the Gridman teams just find out that it's Akane who actually the one who behind on the kaijus. So this is the first time for now that that both of them, both of the sides are on the same level. They have the same information. Even Akane know that Yuta is Gridman, and Gridman know that Akane is the one who manipulate all the worlds or all these like all the kaijus.
Yeah.
So in this episode, now we learn that the last episode we also learned that this world is not is a fake one. So like they know there's nothing outside of the cities. This episode we see like there's another city up in the sky.
Yeah, that was strange. I actually
Yep.
didn't, based on like the show, the way it was storyboarded and laid out, it wasn't clear to me that the city in the sky was actually supposed to function as like a ceiling, because they later after the
Silly.
fight they've come back down from like the aerial combat and stuff, and
Yep.
Yuta's talking to people back down on the ground. He describes it as being a ceiling, but I didn't really get that sense from
Yep.
any of the shots for like
It
5 minutes before that.
it's more like a city standing upside down.
Yeah, but I didn't even realize that it was like above them. I thought it might be, like
Oh,
like a wall, like a barrier off to the side or something.
yeah.
Maybe I
It,
just
it
wasn't looking closely.
yeah. So that asks us a question though. So what is that city? Maybe it's a city of the aliens.
I'm not sure.
Or
Honestly, I don't think it's an actual place. I don't think it's a real city. I think it is actually like the barrier, like the end of the world. Because
all
the
right.
same thing happens in the train. Like when they leave the city, there's nothing outside of it. It's just clouds.
Yep.
I think
Yep.
the
Yep.
same thing would probably happen if they went up too high in the sky.
Oh.
That's just the end of their reality as it exists in Akane's mind or however it
Yep.
functions.
Well, that makes sense though. But speaking to Auntie, the last few episodes we see like more progressively how that Akane doesn't really care about Auntie. So
Yeah.
it actually I just love the visual, the way that the show composed on the shot, where they show the distance between Akane and Auntie, like when they looking at each other like side by side, or when like Auntie like at the bottom of the stair and she standing at the top of the stair, and she just like just walking down and step on the food that he have, the bread,
Special dog.
the special dog actually, yes.
Yep.
So yeah, I think it just increasingly show us how little I can care about Auntie, how much more that Auntie have hatred towards Gridman, and how much how much care that Rika have towards Auntie. So I think that's gonna be the plot that Auntie gonna develop. So he might getting more fun of Rika instead of Akane,
Hmm.
and
So that would make Akane want to kill Rika, maybe,
maybe
because she kills people over the smallest things.
yeah, that's right. But
Yeah.
but I don't rule out the prediction that you have either, because that's gonna be cool. That gonna be like the fight between two kaiju's, like on the two sides of the world.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool, but I kind of doubt that it'll go that way. I do hope
L-
that Auntie's role ends up being more than just like a pawn,
Yeah,
because I'm already a little tired of the dynamic between him and Akane, to be honest. Ever
all
since
right.
his introduction, it's been her like throwing her phone at his face and kicking
Treat
him, and
treat him like crap.
yeah. I mean that's fine, because she's a villainous character by like as a result of her. I don't know, like her complete. I just don't want to use the word sociopath, because everybody loves to use that word to describe villains
Oh,
in like anime series and TV shows and stuff. But she has no regard for the consequences of her actions whatsoever.
that's
And
right.
I like when that's your dominant personality trait. It gets a little tiring for me to have one person who's constantly like receiving the brunt of that abuse.
All right.
So I want to see I want to see him fight back a little bit, or for him to like leave her side in favor of joining the Gridman team or being with Rika, or him displaying some sort of power that we haven't seen so far that like allows him to function outside of her control. Just
Yep.
something to change the status quo between them.
All right. Do you read any of my blog covering regarding this house?
I always look at your weekly summaries.
All right.
I don't know exactly like what you're
All
leading
right.
towards. I don't know what I'm supposed to have read
All
or what
right.
I'm supposed to remember.
Yeah, no, no, no. Because one of the theory that I have is that the dynamic between Akane and Rikas, because I think that they have a history before, like they
Oh yeah, I
use.
think they both like Yuta.
All right. Wow. I
Well, think
didn't.
about it. Akane killed the girl who smushed the special dog that she gave to Yuta.
Yep.
That's the first
Huh.
murder we saw her commit. Is because somebody got in the way of her, like the thing that she was gifting to the boy that she likes. And
Yep.
think about the scene in episode 7, the one we just watched, where she's trying to get Yuta to like join her side when they're in the bedroom together.
Yep. 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 Yep.
Like that scene is thick with sexual tension.
Huh. That scene is rigged with fan service.
Yeah, I suppose so. But she's like the way that she postures herself on the bed and like hugs the pillow to
Yep.
her chest while like speaking in a very quiet voice and looking like maintaining eye contact with them.
Huh.
That's like a seduction attempt, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Because I did think about like them being like best friends before, and then they just fall out for some of the reason. And it's actually for me I suspect that it's like the main like character act that like they gonna be together. They like they gonna like it's not like be together, they gonna like be friend back again. So that's what I took from the OP and ED as well. uh,
Uh, okay.
between Rika and Akane.
Oh yeah, I guess I got us a little off topic there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, I agree.
So
I think that Rika will probably be the reason that her character is being set up the way it is because she's gonna be the hero in the end.
yeah, so I think that have to do with like you said, Utah, and that have to do with Auntie as well. So I don't know. It's a good thing that like at this stage the show will offer us many of like other interpretations regarding how it gonna end. So I hope it will keep surprising us.
Yeah, I don't see how it couldn't, since that seems to be its entire MO.
Yep. So yeah, so far this is one of the show that surprisingly like at first thing I didn't really care about this show. I even have like negative reception about this show before watching it. Now that it's become like one of my like most awaiting show at the season.
Yeah, neither of us picked this one in a list of 10
Yep.
to. I mean, we both listed like Radiant above this.
That's right.
So
Maybe
hindsight is 2020.
maybe Radiant's getting better. We don't know for
Yeah,
that yet.
I'll never know. There's no way I'll ever find that out.
Yeah. Anything you want to note before we moving on to other shows?
Got a few things here, but none of them are that important. We're running out of time.
All right. Yep. So let's save it for next time.
Sure.
Then. All right. So next one will be High Score Girl, the volume 8
Cool.
manga. So it's the matchup, the final match between Ono-san and Hidaki.
Yes, that happens towards the end of this volume. That happens in like chapters 49 and 50, I think.
Yep, that's right. That's right.
But before that, we got a little bit of
Kidnapping.
I mean, yeah,
Kidnapping.
kidnapping. Honestly, the chapters 46 to 48, which are, that's what comes before the final match that you mentioned. They kind of feel like a little bit of slice of life ish.
All right.
Not a whole lot of significance to the chapters. It's just Haruo hanging out with his friends and Hidaka thinking about Haruo and stuff.
Yeah, I think we get to an arc where it's a fight between Hidaka and Ono in order to get into the guy, which is, when you say like that, when you put it that way, it sounds pretty bad. It sounds like two girls fighting for a boy. But
I mean, that's literally what's happening.
That's literally what's happening. So that all happened at the end of the last volume, where Ono saw the two of them hugging each other.
Yep, in Shibuya.
Yeah, in Shibuya. So that she thought that she lost, like.
Oh no, I lose.
I lose a game. So
I lose in love.
Yeah, so she wants to have it back. So she basically just kidnapping this guy that she loves in order to just play game with him for whole night.
Yeah,
which is kind of cool actually. if you're into game and stuff.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think I would like to be kidnapped. But depending on what purpose it was for, I might change my mind.
Yeah, and she even like tease him about that. Teach him about like you will have to talk to the senseis.
The who?
The teacher.
Oh yeah, Moemi Sensei, I think is her name, with the glasses. Yeah.
That's right. But I do agree that while on the narrative side, if had a purpose, it feel a little bit low point. It's not really that much of a stake that like he getting kidnapped into her house and they playing games together, and it doesn't really like solidify their relationship, because their relationship is already really strong to begin with.
The way that the manga explains it, via like the scene with her sister at Haruo's house with his mom.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, Hidaka scored a point by hanging out with them all night in Shibuya. So now Ono has to score a point by having him sleep over. And then, there's got to be a third point, best 2 out of 3, yada, 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 etc.
Yep.
That's it. Like that's the whole explanation that the manga kind of trots out for what happens. And,
that's right.
It's fine. It's a cute little chapter. I mean, the thing that I liked the most about the chapter was wait, am I getting mixed up here? He stays over in chapter 47. What happens in 46?
No, I think it's that at 47.
Oh, 46 is when he gets kidnapped. 47 is when they actually play games.
Oh, yep.
And then whenever he mentions like cheating, when he says, "Oh, I haven't played this game because I would be cheating on my PlayStation," she punches him.
Yep.
That's how she views what he did with Hidaka.
Right.
And she won't let him play the blonde female characters.
Yep.
So she selects them for herself so that he can't do it.
That's right. So like all these funny stuff, all this very cute stuff.
Yeah. And that's all leading up to her rematch with Hidaka.
Yep. So, what do you think about the rematch?
I mean, I don't know. What do you mean? What do I think about it? Who do I think won?
No. So, how do you feel in general? Like how it's playing, how it plays
Oh,
out?
I don't know. It's fine. The whole thing with like two girls fighting over a guy, and that being made literal in the fact that they're playing a video game to see who, you know,
Yep.
wins his hand in high school relationship hood. It's like I don't know. It's fine, I guess, but it's kind of lame. It's a little bit
All right.
lame. Like just the concept of one of them is gonna like win the prize. Haruo is the prize.
All right. I think that it's kind of predictable the way that like everything happened towards that. Like how like you gonna see Ono-san win by a landslide.
Except
You
she doesn't.
no she won actually. Ono-san
Nope.
she won.
Hidaka
Is it?
won.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right, I missed it. I absolutely missed that.
We actually don't see who wins. The end of chapter 50 is Hidaka thinking to herself,
That
oh no, she's
that
beating me. What does this say about my love for Haruo?
yeah, but she was like beating Hidaka to like
Yeah, but think about what happens at the end of chapter 51.
I didn't get to that part actually. So the end of that 51 is all about Haru, right?
It's him studying for his motorcycle license. Did you
That's
read that
right.
part?
Yep,
Yeah.
I did.
So then he gets his motorcycle license. He hops on his motorcycle that
Oh,
Ono's sister gave to him, and he drives to Ono's place.
yep.
And he says to her, if I've got my license now, so if you're ever feeling down, call me up and I'll come over.
And she
And
looks so
then
sad.
yeah, she looks sad, and the last panel of the manga is like her and him on opposite sides of a fence with a gigantic black bar separating the two their characters.
Yeah. Oh, I did actually get that. I just thought there was like another issues regarding her household.
No,
That she
I
had
don't think
to.
so.
All right.
I think
That
Hidaka actually won, and that's why
wow.
we see the big separation between Haruo and Ono's characters.
That actually makes sense though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it makes sense when you think about the reason for Ono looking so sad and dejected, but it doesn't
Yep.
make sense from like the standpoint of her being an absolute god tier gamer. Like, how
Yep.
could she lose? I don't get it, but I think
No,
she
no, no,
did.
no. No. She actually do the handicap. So she picked her favorite characters, and the other guy who was like very OP, overpowered. He and I think Hidaka did a little comparison. This is like 9-1. So like it's 10 times they playing the two character playing together. The Akuma guys, the devil guys, gonna win 9 times.
Right. But that's the thing is like she was losing really badly at the end
Which
of
one?
that chapter. Hidaka
Who
was
Hidaka?
losing. Yeah.
Yep.
She
Yep.
was like, if I'm losing like this, and what does that say about my love for Haruo? Blah blah blah.
Yep.
Shows she was on the back foot for sure, even though she's favored in the character matchup.
Mm-hmm.
So I just find it hard to believe that she actually came back and won,
Yep.
uh, even though she has that advantage because she was in such a bad place mentally. Like
Yep.
how would you find the will to come back and get the win? But I think she did based on what the way this volume ended.
Yep. And one thing that I really like about this matchup though is like we get to see a lot of thinking from Hidaka again. So I just love the way that this girl like thinks about her love, think about her relationship with Haru, her relationship with the games. It's just all great. It's just the main plot at this point is kind of lame because they fighting for a boy and
Yeah.
and I said it earlier, and which I might be wrong. That it's predictable that Ono-san gonna win. Maybe that she win. Maybe at the end of the day she win, but she realized that maybe she's not as like putting that much effort at Ono-san. Who knows?
Um, what?
No, no. I mean, if in the case that Hidaka win,
Right.
she might be like in crisis, that like her love for Haruo isn't that great compared to Ono-san. That Ono-san put more effort into like into the fight more than her.
Yeah, perhaps. And I mean that
But
was the
yeah,
crisis that she was experiencing as she was playing.
which isn't a good point though, because as we see from the very first episode until now, that she Hidaka have put a lot of effort into the winning Haru back.
Yeah, she's obsessed.
Yeah, she obsessed.
And
So
I yeah, that's the thing about that fight was like, Hidaka is thinking to herself, "Oh man, I picked a really broken character who's like super powerful in order to win." But
yep,
but
I use
Ono,
it.
she stuck with her main, like
Yep,
the
yep,
character
yep.
that she loves. So that must mean she loves Haruo way more than I do. Like that makes no sense.
No, no,
if
no, no.
if Hidaka is trying to win, like using whatever tactics she can, wouldn't that mean that she's actually the more dedicated person?
No, so it's mean like she just playing safe to win.
Yeah, but
Ono-san on the other hand, because she having like a huge disadvantage. She have to really try the way to win. She not trying to not to lose.
right.
So
Yeah, I definitely understand that, but Hidaka, as a result of the way that the game is playing out and the characters that were selected, she starts to think to herself like, what does this say about how much I like Haruo?
yeah,
It must
that,
not be as much
alright.
as Ono. But like,
That
no, that's not true. That's not true.
that I agree. It doesn't have anything to do with Haru. It had to do with her and the games, her spirit as a gamer. It's
Oh,
not. It's nothing to do with Haru at all.
I
I
can link
agree.
you to the very last page of chapter 50.
All right.
Where she literally thinks to herself, "What does that say about my love for Haruo?"
Yeah. I still remember that. So
It's painful.
yes,
Yeah,
but
I mean, I mean, this whole arc, or not this whole arc, but the last few chapters have been
Yep.
dedicated to a fight between two women over a man. I mean, you're not gonna get a whole lot of depth or emotional accuracy out of a story like that.
right.
But that is the point in the story at which we found ourselves.
Yeah.
So
But that is to say that my favorite chapter is the last chapter when it's take the focus back to Haru's, and the way that he tried to get the license, his license, and we eventually learn that he does that to improve himself in order to like to be more appropriate to Ono-san. So it all have to do with his love for Ono-san, which is I really like.
yeah, that does seem to be the story that the manga's pushing, because he has that conversation with her sister and all that.
Yep.
But it seems to me that whoever's writing High Score Girl just loves to have it both ways. Like he will make Haruo appear to be like more mature and more aware of his own emotions and feelings in one
Yep.
chapter, and then in the very next chapter he'll be like, "Well, I just love video games."
Yeah. Well, yes.
So I would like him to shift a little bit more towards one than the other, given that we're
Alright.
50 chapters in.
Yep.
But it's
Yep.
still a fun read for sure.
Sure. So yes, we get to the end of volume 8. So if I remember correctly, there will be 2 more volumes
Yeah.
before
It's over.
it ends.
It's finished publication, but
Yep.
it'll be a long time probably before the rest is scanlated into English.
Yep. So regarding that, like whenever it's like the whole volume getting published, getting available online, we will get back to High School Girl. But
Yeah.
for now, both of us thinking about taking the last spot of the seasonal anime to cover manga instead.
Yeah, we have a couple options, couple choices that we'll
That's right.
discuss, and we'll pick one,
Yep.
and it'll be in 2 weeks, I think, that we cover the first
Right.
volume of whatever we choose. Is that right?
Yep. That's right. That's right. So we gonna spoil you the name of that manga
Oh, I thought there were two that we were thinking about. Do you
in
know
two
which one we're
weeks.
gonna do?
No, in 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Not now though.
Cool.
All
Cool.
right. So you have anything else about
No.
the manga? All right. Let's get to the last show, which is Giant Robo.
Giant Robo episode 2.
The only thing that I was disappointed in that second episode of Giant Robo was the amount of recap.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of that. And it was already significantly shorter than the previous episode.
That's right. So it's like the first 10 minutes of the show of the episode was a recap.
Was it 10 minutes?
10 minutes. That was 10 minutes. I actually
Wow.
counted. Yeah.
Gross.
So
I mean, but it's got to be really expensive to produce something like this. So I guess I can understand it.
yeah, because I actually understand it as well, and the but the the further event, the event that the show that the episode have, the fresh materials that the second episode have, it's really good. So it kind of I kind of still enjoy. Don't really mind much about the long recap.
Yeah, it didn't bother me that much. I mean, it definitely did as it was happening. When I first realized, oh, this is going to be like a long portion of
Yep,
footage material that we've already seen.
that's right.
But I mean, well, actually, even thinking about what happened in episode 2, it was a lot of
Cool,
there was a lot of elaboration upon events that were already alluded to in the
That's
past
right.
episode.
That's
So
right.
it was I mean, the episode title itself is The Tragedy of Bashtar.
Yep. So
And it goes into a little bit more detail about that, but not we don't actually learn that much that we didn't already know.
well, one thing we learned though is that on the scientists, on the guys scientists who actually very desperate to make that like energy
Hmm.
that's Shimuzara arrive because so like it's in like in on the verge of desperation. Actually it's Volger who want to advance the technology, so it's not like any of the selfish reason that he had. He doesn't want to destroy the world, he doesn't want to dominate the world, but he want to like advance the energies.
Uh, are you sure?
Yeah. I that is what I take from the from that flashback.
Because
But
there's a line in this episode where
what did you
the
take?
somebody literally says Big Fire's goal is world domination. What if Volgar was already a member of Big Fire when he activated the 3 Shibuya drive cylinders?
Yeah, we didn't know that for sure though, right?
No, we don't. And you may be right. I mean, the show does seem to be playing around with the theme of has science gone too far? That
Yep.
sort of thing. So it's totally possible, and indeed it's probable that originally Volgar was just he was trying to push forward even though the technology wasn't yet ready or wasn't stable.
That's right.
But at the same time, we don't know that for sure either. Like
That's right. That's
he
right.
could have been a bad guy at that point. We just don't know.
One thing that we know for sure though is that that guy Volger supposed to be dead because he was in the center of that that tragedy, but apparently he wasn't dead and he seemed to be aged as well.
Yeah, his hair turned white and stuff. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
What I don't get is why the other professor with the six hair things pointing out in
yep,
all directions, he was
yep,
right there, wasn't he, when Volgar activated the Shizuma drive?
yep.
Why isn't he dead?
Because all of them running away. You remember like little shot of them running away at different directions.
Yeah, but how
Uh,
are they going to get far enough away to escape that massive explosion?
no idea. Maybe they just like dug up a hole behind the hole, waiting for all the earthquake and everything that like out of the pictures.
Yeah, wouldn't it be
No
actually be
idea.
more dangerous to go underground?
I have actually no idea, and yeah, that's that one of the things that bugged me as well.
Yeah, I feel like we don't understand everything about what happened that night. Even after this episode, which seemed to be dedicated to explaining it to us, there's still more that we don't understand, I think.
And I still don't even get all the three all the three things that that's supposed to be like a factor that that
The three Shizuma Drive like cores, the cylinder
yeah,
things.
because it's supposed to be an incomplete part. So I'm not really sure what is significant. It doesn't serve as like the main source. It's just like an incomplete part. That's what I get.
I think when all three of them are together, it creates some sort of, unlimited energy or something. Yeah, I mean, it's just a plot device
Yep.
for
All
characters to have superpowered fights over,
I just take
which
it
is
as it
fine
is.
by me.
But why that the professors plugging the third of that energies, and it already caused havoc.
I think, yeah, that's a good question. I think I figured it out as I was watching. Well, I mean, first of all, it's important to note that he didn't actually plug it in with the other two because the Big
Yep.
Fire has the other two cores.
Right.
He plugged it into something else, which shut down the bald guy's big robot thing that created the barrier,
Right.
and it allowed Giant Robo to push past the barrier, which he couldn't do before. I think
Right.
that's why the professor did that.
All right. Hey,
But it
Yep.
actually didn't have a lot of like impact on the scene because even after he did that, for a while, Giant Robo just stood there as the characters talked back and forth.
It actually did a lot of damage. It actually like shut off the whole Nanking cities. So like everything that used that system, that drive, at that
Yeah.
energy was off.
Right, but it didn't create like that that explosion or that seismic activity that it did in
That's right. Yeah, but
France
but,
or wherever.
but it's still like caused the or the accident, the traffic accident. And
Oh yeah,
all
the
these.
cars all piled up. So that was in wherever they. I think they said Peking, or Peking is where they were.
Is it picking? All right.
I think so. Yeah,
I put it.
they definitely
Peking.
mentioned Peking at one point.
All right, picking. All right, got that. So yes, it have a lot of like consequences to when he activate that drive.
Right. I was also very confused about that. Like because this whole time we've been told that the drives are like, they're essentially weapons when they're put to use the wrong way.
Right.
And he does seem to like jam it into into some some sort of activator that shuts off all the power in a major metropolitan city. So
Yep.
I was like, what is going on? But I think he did it to power down that robot so that Giant Robo could push through the barrier.
All right, but one other detail that we learned is that all right, before I get into that, I actually want to mention the event happened after that tragedy of Bastille, which is like they have like a whole week without any of the device, without any of the system.
Yeah, I think I remember the mention of a week. Like the Earth stands still for a week, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I really love that little, expositions. I love the ideas behind that. It can make a pretty good, uh I actually thinking about, a plot regarding, people how staying trying to survive at that, at that event.
Right.
Or like a week
And
where
like a
the
post-apocalyptic kind of thing
yeah, that's right.
that
The
lasts for only a week.
Yep, it's like the worst. Yeah, a week where the world stands still. It's pretty great actually.
Well, that's the title of the what we're watching. It's Giant Robo: The Day the Earth Stood Still.
All right, all
That's
right.
like the subtitle of the production.
So yeah, there are two, like, they have like two visual motif. One of them that you mentioned last week about like a giant eyeball open,
Right.
and the second one is like the whole cities. We get many shot this week where the whole city, or even like when the earth lights goes off.
Right. Yes.
So yeah, that's another visual motif where, like they do it significant where they want to show us how the earth stands still.
Yeah. I we definitely got a lot of shots of
Yep.
the lights blacking out, kind of
Two.
like row by row, column by column, and even like one at a time all the way down a highway and stuff.
Yeah, too many actually.
Yeah, I mean, whoever's directing this is probably just obsessed with that concept, and so they wanted to work it in as much as possible.
Right.
But the eye thing,
Mm-hmm.
so there, I actually can't remember, so I need you to help me figure out like whether that giant black eyeball,
Yep.
which somehow has Volger's consciousness is like part of it, right?
Right. Right.
Okay. So maybe when the tragedy of Bashtarle happened, he like his consciousness somehow got merged with the big black orb above the three Shizuma drive cores,
Yep.
and that thing is now the eyeball.
Yep.
And
That's
but that's happening in the present, right?
Yeah. That's what I initially get as well, but that's why I mentioned why it's strange for me that his age, that he has like white hair and stuff now. Because if he's supposed to be dead and he's supposed to be, like stuck into, immersed into only energies, he will have to have like an appearance like 10 years ago.
Yeah, I see what you mean. That if he died at that moment and his consciousness got merged with artificial, with some artificial, intelligence or device or something, then he wouldn't appear aged.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
But that sort of thing in anime can just be like a stylistic choice, just to differentiate between how he looked in flashbacks and how he looks now. Plus, the
Maybe.
white hair makes him look like a little more sinister, a little more otherworldly, and perhaps a little more villainous.
He looked more like Doctor, what his name in Back in the Future.
Shoot, Doc, I can't remember.
Doc.
Yeah, his name is Doc, but I
His-
can't remember his actual name.
Yeah, he looked like this guy now, a
Yeah,
mad scientist.
Kind of. But I mean, he has much better hair though.
All right.
It's not all sticking out to one side or the other. He's got like a full head of hair, and it's really elaborately styled.
So yes. So afterwards, we learned the detail that it's giant robot might be the key who, save the world, because he doesn't use the same energy as the other. He used nuclear energy.
Right.
I
So
actually
that's part of why he's so special, I guess. That's why he's like the main
yeah
character
that
guy.
that's right. I actually felt a bit disappointed to learn that it's just a nuclear energy that he got. I want to be more, like more ambitious. But it's nuclear might be good enough.
Well, I mean, it's better than good enough given the circumstances in which he's fighting. He's like
Yeah.
the perfect weapon
Yeah, right.
against like a global EMP, which is what Big Fire is aiming to use essentially.
Yep. So I think now that all the responsibility had get into that boy. Uh, that's Shakuku Shama.
Hmm.
I I hope that the show, like show us how that responsibility is going to be very big for him.
Yeah, I feel like that might be a ways off. I don't know if he's all like in episode 3. He's going to be like, oh man, I realize the burden that has been placed upon my shoulders. My giant robot friend has a nuclear power source, so
Yeah.
I must save the Earth. I don't think he's going to suddenly
All
start
right.
thinking that way in the next episode. But
Maybe
he'll get there.
maybe that's why I know who maybe he when he watched this show he inspired to make Eva and Shinji.
I
Who
well,
knows?
Ava has like a million mecha influences, most of which I have not watched.
Right.
I'm sure that maybe this OVA influenced him, but if Giant Robo influenced him at all, it's more likely that it was the manga, which he might have grown up with as a kid.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Agree.
And also, apart from that, though, like I don't think Daisaku is very much like Shinji, because
Y-
Shinji does not want to get into the robot, and
Yep. Right.
Daisaku is like Giant Robo is my friend.
Yep. Yep.
They're pretty
Agree.
different.
Any other notes you have on the shows?
My God. Yes. The two new characters,
Right.
who we were talking about a little bit before we started recording.
Yep.
They're the experts of justice, the priest and
The
the
blue.
blue haired dude or blue
Yep.
skinned dude.
Yep.
Dude, the priest was so cool. Just
All right.
the sheer like the range of abilities that he has.
Yep.
He can transform. He can like he's a martial artist. He's got those beads.
Well,
What do you call that necklace or that string of beads?
uh. Um. I know what you mean. I don't even know what it calls.
Yeah, I don't know. Like yeah, I know it's like a religious talisman kind of.
Yep.
I can't remember whether it's like a Buddhist thing or
It's the Buddhist thing. Yep.
okay. Yeah.
Um.
But the
Yeah.
uses that he had for did you find it?
Yeah. It's just the beats.
Oh,
Nobody
okay.
said
It
it's.
doesn't have a
Yep.
special name.
Nope.
It probably does. It probably does have a special name, and it's
All right.
just difficult to find because it's in a different language or something. But
Yep.
anyway, the amount of different things he could do with those beads, he could use them to like trans to transfer information, like to deliver messages, and he could use them as weapons. He could use them to create illusions.
Yep.
It's just like all the combat in this show is so over the top and flashy that it's
Yep.
like irresistible and fun.
That's right. That's right. I agree.
It's so cool. Like it's so well choreographed. It's so imaginative.
It
It's so stylish.
it's one of those like rare occasions where like over the top I actually add up.
Yeah, man. It's just so much fun.
Yep.
And it putting so much emphasis on person to person combat
Yep.
prevents Giant Robo. Just the fact that there's a young boy who has control of a big robot. It
Yep.
prevents that from taking over the entire OVA because there's like a much grander story that's being told. There's also more, even if it's not like a character piece, there is a heavy emphasis on the people.
Yep.
The members of the experts of justice and the members of Big Fire and like who they are, what they look like, their really unique designs, what they can do as
Yep.
fighters. They're on the screen all the time. They're always given their space and their moments to shine. So I appreciate that it's not just a robot punching things for
Yep.
45 minutes a week.
That's right. I got the name here is Mala.
Mala.
Yeah, Mala. Mala.
So that's the name of like they're sort of like prayer beads, right?
Yeah, that's a prayer beast. So
Okay.
yep.
Yeah, he does a
I
lot more than pray with them, but
That's right.
they're pretty cool.
Yep. There's one other thing that I'd like to mention, which is I forget now actually. Uh,
Shucks.
Yep.
Was it about like the story, or a
No,
specific character, or the way the show looks?
no, it just some minor things. I it's not really that important.
How about the way how there was one
Oh,
particular.
yeah,
Go
right.
ahead. No, you do your thing first.
All right. It's about King Rare brothers, and so we get into his little flashback about a week where the earth stood still, and we learn about his motivation, where he want to create havoc, and it's just that he want to be in that state again, which I think really stupid.
I don't think we do know his motivation. I think we know his goal, but we
Yep.
don't know what his motivation is.
I think he
Is he
want
trying to avenge his father?
I just think that he want to make he want to go back into that 7 days again, where there's no energy and stuff.
Um, well,
I,
we know that Big Fire's goal is world domination.
yep.
They're those kinds of villains. They don't have like a super serious motivation. Like they're not on a quest for social change or anything like that.
Yep.
They just want to control the world. As far as what the son wants, I actually do think that he kind of wants to avenge his father, because he was sort of complaining during his flashback that all the other scientists after that 7-day period, the whole world fawned over them for creating that energy source, but they criticized my father.
Yep. I remember that.
So
So
I
maybe
think
that's the main
probably
reason.
why he's doing it. Yeah, because he wants to demonstrate the evils of the Shizuma drive and to prove that the other four were not saints by any means.
Yep. Got that.
Um,
What
but
was your
that's
point?
that's just a guess. What?
What was your point before I get into this point?
The scene of how at the end of the last episode, Giant Robo, he starts to like blast off and go to Daisaku's aid.
All right. Yep.
You remember that? And there are all the guys at the base who are watching Giant Robo take off. They're like, his power is 50 times greater than
Yeah. That's
blah
right.
blah
That's
blah.
right.
So in this episode, when he actually begins to approach where Daisaku is,
Yep.
and
Yep.
he's going through the water.
Oh.
That scene was like breathtaking.
Mm.
The way it was animated with him like crashing through the waves, and all the water getting kicked up on either side of him as he was like pushing through it. Just unbelievable talent and effort put into just that one, just 1 second long scene. Is crazy.
Yep. Yep. I had the same
I,
feeling.
yeah, it was. So that's all I wanted to say. It was,
Right.
damn, this OVA sure looks good sometimes.
I agree. Actually, in the OVA they have like the flexibility of, like not time constraint, not time restraint. So they usually make a better quality compared
Yeah,
to the TV productions.
yeah. You can find 80s and 90s OVAs that look like 10 times better than 2018
Huh.
TV series.
Yep. I agree.
Although I did read that Giant Robo was actually, the whole thing was supposed to come out in 3 years,
Oh.
but instead it took 6. So they
Yep.
actually broke a lot of deadlines, probably because they were obsessed with
Details.
delivering as good like as polished a product as they could.
Yep.
But I don't
I
know, like in today's market, I don't know if that's possible, because anime is so TV oriented now, and you can't, like, studios still do miss TV deadlines, but when it happens, it's a huge deal. I don't know if there's that much leeway being given to production studios anymore.
Yeah. Well, I still anticipating one of the OVA coming out at the end of this year. So maybe that's still a case.
What OVA
Even
is that?
even
Oh,
Monogatari.
right. Yeah, it's Zuko, right?
Yeah, Zuko.
Yeah. Isn't that going to air on TV as well? Won't that technically be a TV anime?
No, because it released in theaters. So
Okay. So
it
it's like
just
Space Battleship Yamato.
yeah. So it just released in theater like last week in Japan,
Oh,
A-
okay.
and they gonna release it in TV as well, like week by week. I'm not really
Right.
sure. It's like week by week, or is this like like 2 or 3 episodes a week? But
Is that going to happen
now,
before the end of the year?
hopefully we get a sub at the end of the year.
Oh my god. I hope that it happens January 1st because I don't want to have to watch that stuff for
Do you
you
have
know.
to do you have to watch that though? You
I don't know.
don't.
I might,
Mm,
and I don't
mm.
really want to. So,
I don't think you need to watch that. Basically,
well, I mean, people might want to. Well, whatever. It doesn't.
yep.
It doesn't matter. We're getting off
Uh,
topic.
right.
You ready to wrap
So
things up?
yep. So in terms of anime in this season this week, it's not good at all. So like the 3 out of 4 shows that we watched were very bad,
Yeah.
very boring.
Yeah.
That's
Boring is a fine word to use.
that's right.
Can't use it enough.
Yep. I have a pretty good time with Bunniger Senpai this
Oh
week,
my
but
god.
Whooper disagree with me.
Yeah, I
So
actually dropped it.
so
I was only watching it like to hate it. That was
all
the
right.
reason I was watching it every week. And episode 7 was so bad that I decided I can't even do that anymore.
All right, tell me later why you had that. So
Okay.
you had that episode because I really love that episode.
Right.
Yeah, and just watch Thunderbolt Fantasy, man, because it's like one of the best anime you're gonna watch this year. Go watch it,
What are you talking about?
Thunderbolt Fantasy.
Oh yeah, puppetry. Yes.
Yes, anime. Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
So, right. Or as a last note, next week we're gonna take a break. So we're gonna be back in 2 weeks to cover 2 shows and a new manga.
Righto.
All right. So that's it for now. Thanks for listening. See you in 2 weeks.
Bye everyone.
Bye.